Okay, I think I'm live. That's it. Alright, so I was just actually listening to the Bible on audio by Alexander Scorby, and I heard something that really resonated with me. So I wanted to share it with you guys on YouTube. Um, I hope somebody sees it. I hope it is a message that helps somebody out. I don't know who it will help out, but I'm hoping somebody receives it, somebody gets it, they understand it, and they can either apply it to their lives or pass it on to somebody else that probably needs to apply it to their life. I'm actually just coming back from outside. It's that cold outside. I figured before I even take my clothes off, this is something I wanted to do. So I'm gonna read from the book of Proverbs, and it's about 18 to 20 verses. But I'll speak on it and you'll see why I gave it the title I did. So let me just read this. This is Proverbs, the first chapter. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand the proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of God is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of your mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. Now, notice he's saying both father and mother, which is why it's necessary in the home. If you're having children, both the mother and the father should be there. Ladies, I can't stress this enough. You have to make good decisions about who you mate as. Men, same thing. You can't just lay down with anybody and expect things to go all gravy, as the saying is. Expect things to be good and be able to raise that child um, with the right person. Let me continue. My son, this is verse 10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou for those. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. This is a gang of people plotting on robbing and killing people. Verse 15, my son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. And they lay wait for their own blood. They look privily for their own lives. So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Wisdom crieth out, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love sin? Scorners scorning, and fools hate knowledge? Okay, so I read 22 verses. First chapter of Proverbs. Tell you what, there is no other book I would recommend somebody read apart from this King James Bible. This book has so much to offer. This on a, if you're not gonna attack it spiritually, you might not get what myself or somebody else who is going at it spiritually can get. But if you're going at it with the understanding that this is a spiritual book, multi-dimensional book. This is not one of those two-dimensional books that, okay, this is just this, you read this and it's that, and okay, story done. You know, like a good crime novel or something like that. No, that's not that kind of book. This book will offer you knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. And I mentioned the part about the gangs and the greed corporations because here you have Solomon, who was probably one of the wisest men that ever lived, right? And he's saying these things as he's inspired to, and he's warning his son. In let's take it in generality, he's warning these young men, right, about not being in the company of any other group of young men that are thieves, robbers, killers. He's saying, no, don't. If they ask you to come on a ride along with them, oh, let's go take a ride in this car. No, don't go. You don't know what they have in the car. You don't know what they plan on doing. And there's so many young brothers out there, so-called black men, that have been incarcerated because of these simple mistakes. They got in the car with somebody, the person had a gun, maybe only two people in the car knew what was going to happen or what the plan was, but here they have these other people that are picked up along the way. They go joyriding, and then it ends up with people being in prison for 20, 25 years. Easy. With the so-called black man, they throw the book at you. Easy. Okay? You're not going to get away because you said, oh, I didn't know they were going to do that. I didn't know they had a gun in the car. And it happens. Trust me, it happens. I've been in that situation where I've been with somebody driving around, get to where we're going, and then only to find out this person had something on them the whole time. And I'm driving, so you assume that the driver knows. But even in scenarios that I've been in, you may not know. You might just be driving around with somebody, you don't have a clue what they have on them. You're assuming that this person is somebody you know, so they're, going with you wherever you going to hang out or whatever, and coming to find out they might have illegal drugs, they could have a gun, who knows? But this is what happens when you deal with people. And please, don't get me wrong, okay? I've been on that side of the fence, and no matter what stage you are in life, there's always things that pull you in, people that pull you in, people that you're drawn to maybe because of, camaraderie or whatever, but you have to make the decision that that's not for you. Whether it be Bloods, Crips, Nietas, Latin Kings, MS-13, whatever. Doesn't matter. The point is, joining up in any one of these gangs is not going to take you anywhere positive. That's just facts. I mean, we've seen the news, we've seen the stories about gang life, gang culture. Allegedly, it was supposed to start as, people that were coming together to look after the community. It didn't work, obviously. Okay, let's stop living in the past about what it was supposed to be and just stick with reality, what it really is. Okay, and what it is not something that you want to be part of, and not at this juncture. Okay, you better off on your own, doing your own thing. And for the corporations, the greedy corporations, of course, you heard it. People that try to amass wealth. I understand you go to college, so-called black man or woman, you go to college and you aspire to go work in the corporate world, but then what? Even if you do get a scholarship, the majority don't, but even if you do, what is your plan? Do you have that rulership mentality that says, okay, excuse me, I'm going to only do this for a few years, and then once I put enough money aside, I'm going to go do my own thing. because each and every person has their own gifts. Don't get me wrong. Not everybody recognizes their full potential, and it's really something that even I, have struggled with over the past years, trying to mold, what it is that I really want to do in life, and I don't. I really don't like the corporate structure of, this current conglomerate that we're in. But sometimes you have to work within it to get other things accomplished, and that's understood. That's fine. But let's say you graduate college, you did well, you get a good paying job. Okay, what's the plan after that? Work there and then move to another corporation after you've got some experience, and then move to another corporation, and then you're still operating under that system. You know, so-called black man with a rulership mentality understands that everything within this system is owned. There are people at the top, even over sometimes the board of trustees or whatever. There's people even, over them in any corporation. Some of them have like one key owner, like in football and stuff like that. But what is your plan once you've went through that system, and let's say you've been there 5 years or 10 years? How much of that large salary have you put aside to say, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to try to set up this kind of business, and, yeah, you have to have a plan. Obviously, you need to know what kind of business you want to set up. Are you going to open a laundromat? I don't see any so-called black people owning laundromats, so maybe you could start there. Are you going to open some kind of store? Uh, what is it that you're going to open? A flower shop, a bakery? There's so many things that you can do, and yeah, a lot of businesses fail, but I think people don't go at it um, with a mindset and a plan to make it work for the long term. Because you have to understand, even if you probably have the capital to start something, there's all these little moving parts that you need to, unless you're starting something really small. If you're starting something really small, you're some inventor of something, then obviously, yeah, you could start small. You could start at your home, in your garage, in your basement, in your spare bedroom, your study. Start it in your kitchen. But if you have the capital to start something where you're going to rent a space, obviously you're going to need people, a core group of people, to help you with this business. And obviously, it would be better to have family or people that you have grown to trust. People that are good with money, people that are good with, you know, like-minded business people that will get things done, be there on time, not make excuses, like that. So I would just say, as a word of advice, that people, try to figure out what your skill or your talent is, because everybody's blessed with a talent. Not everybody can be a football player, soccer star, gymnast, you know, boxer, whatever. But there's other things apart from entertainment that you can do. People are blessed with culinary skills. They can cook. You know, people are skilled with their hands. They can make things, or people are inventors. They create these little things that come to find out that you need. Like, who invented Q-tips? You know what I'm saying? Like, think of little things that people do. I'm like, wow, like, like Q-tips. Like there's, for instance, like the insoles that you could take, like these shoes right here. The original insoles, like these really good Dr. Scholl insoles, mad comfortable, like, so people invent things, sunglasses, chapstick, you know, that you can come up with something if you're creative, or if you're thinking of trying to do something, when your lunch break at work or after work, you have some free time, try to, think of something that you want to create and try to monetize your gifts, try to monetize your talent because at the end of the day, regardless of what I say about the importance of this book, it also says a man that does not take care of his family is worse than an infidel. So I'm not saying that you can't go out there in corporate America and have a job. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that you should look beyond the job. Obviously, it's for people that are ingrained in society. That's what you're taught from the time you're small that you have to go out and get a job. Nobody's taught that, hey, try to do something and, make it a career. Do something that you like. So it's hard for people to come out of that program of, yeah, I gotta go to work. I gotta work this 9 to 5, or I gotta work this 12 to 8, or this 4 to midnight. Yeah, I've, I've been there. I've been there so long. I'm already tired of it. But it's understood that, yeah, that's the programming. But you know, trying to get people out of it. That's my attempt. Showing you can do something else, but also, you can use school to get you an education to go and do something out in the corporate world. But having an education, it does not make you wise. It does not mean that you're informed. I mean, most people that go to college, they just learn whatever skills they need to do that job um, that they're going to work at in corporate America. Most people come out of school, they don't even know how to file their own taxes. So, what are you really learning? You know, most people come out of school, they don't know how to cook. Unfortunately, some don't even know how to iron. You know, that's why most people they buy all their meals. They have no idea how to cook anything. And it's unfortunate. Like, so, take it with a, you know, if you're like the book, if you're wise and you have understanding, you'll see and understand what the message is about. And I hope, like I said, this book is a multi-dimensional book. If you read, if you want to start reading, I'd say read Genesis. But if you're looking for some, you're looking to have some knowledge dropped on you. If you already believe that everything was created by the Father, that's a good start. But if you're looking to have some knowledge dropped on you, read Proverbs, read Psalms, um, Isaiah, and Daniel. Trust me, you go at this book, asking God for some wisdom and to open your eyes to some things. It's quite an experience to read stuff that hits you right here. It'll hit you here. It'll hit you up here for sure, but it'll hit you right here. Like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I can really picture this. Like this, like you can apply almost anything in this book to yourself, someone you know, someone in your family, anybody. You know. So that's my message. I hope, like I said, someone hears it and it resonates with them as well. And you know, it's up to you to pick up the book. Pick it up and read it. A lot of people talk a whole lot of mess about the Bible. They ain't picked it up yet to read it. That's the sad part. A lot of people have comments, make about Jesus. They never picked up the King James Bible a day in their life. How you gonna talk about something you don't know? Good night, folks.